Okay, my name's Chad Russell, C-H-A-D-R-U-S-S-E-L-L. I'm the fire chief in Andover. We just wanted to give everyone an update about what we know so far. So we know that there was a direct tornado strike that started in Sedgwick County and traveled into Andover. We had many buildings in Andover take very tough damage. Total in the path, there were 966 buildings, we believe. We do not have a damage assessment on how many of those were damaged, but there were 966 in the path. This was, in some of our neighborhoods, damaged badly enough that the houses were completely blown down. Now the good news, so far we have no rescues outstanding. That means we know of no one waiting for us to do rescues. We did rescue quite a few people in the beginning. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact number. We'll try to get that for you. Right now, we are finished with our primary assessments. We're moving into secondary assessments, where the first assessment was really quick. We were checking quickly to make sure if we found anybody that was hurt badly, we could quickly grab them. Next, we're going to move into secondary assessments, and we're going to start checking more methodically. We plan to have all secondary assessments done by tomorrow morning, and tomorrow we're going to do a tertiary assessment in the daylight, and that will give us a really good idea of exactly the fact that we don't have any more people outstanding. We are handling calls. I'll let EMS talk about the calls we've handled so far, and the calls that we are still handling occasionally. But from a fire rescue perspective in Andover, we are done with our primary assessments, moving on to secondary assessments. I just want to reach out and say thank you to all of our neighbors. Every fire department from Butler County, Wichita, and Sedgwick County are here to help us. Cowley County Kansas Task Force 5 is here and will be working with us extensively. EMA agencies, and Chief Buchanan, I'm sure, has a lot of law enforcement folks. This is neighbors helping neighbors, and our neighbors stepped up and helped us out greatly this evening. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Buchanan from Andover Police Department.
Thank you for coming tonight. We're very fortunate, like Chief Russell said, we have a lot of different agencies that have come in and stepped to help, especially from a small city, small department. We're very blessed that we had Sedgwick County, Wichita, Butler County, Augusta. Just so many agencies are willing to step up and help. It's a long area, wide range, so we are making sure that we want to make sure that lines that are down, that we're able to annotate those, to make sure that for some reason we want to keep people out of the area. So that's the most important message we want to send right now, is we want to keep people safe, and to keep people out of the area is going to help us. The community has been great, supportive, and people have stayed away for the most part, so we just ask you to please continue to stay out of the area while we assess to make sure so no one else can get hurt.
With that, we'll hold questions for now. With that, I want to let Butler County EMS step in and talk about the issues they've had.
My name is Scott Steuven, S-T-U-E-V-E-N. I'm the Deputy Chief with Butler County EMS. Currently, we've had 5 requests for EMS patients as far as the disaster went. We've 2 of which were firefighters that requested service. They are in good shape. One was transported to the local hospital, and as far as I know, is in good shape at this point. Most have just been minor cuts, scratches, and some fall victims. We have not received any critical patients from our area within Butler County. Currently, we are still receiving calls for service within the city of Andover, which we're responding to with our ambulances. We've been very fortunate to have Sedgwick County EMS assist us with their units, and very lucky to have them as our team and partners. So.
With that, let's hear from Sedgwick County EMS. This incident started in Sedgwick County.
Kevin Lanterman, Kevinlanterman. I'm the interim director at Sedgwick County EMS. As they stated, this did start in Sedgwick County. From an EMS standpoint, we did have 3 injuries in Sedgwick County, one serious and 2 non-critical. We did deploy units into Butler County. They called and asked for our assistance, and we did send units and have units on standby here to assist, help them cover calls because there's still other 911 calls coming in. So we're going to stand by and help any way we can.
Okay, and we also have Wichita PD here with us.
Danny, Captain Wichita PD. We're here just assisting fire, EMS, Andover PD, whatever they need, whether it's assisting with calls, traffic control, also any searches that may be going on.
Let me check my notes, make sure I have everything covered. That's all we have. We would take questions. Go ahead.
How long is that order for residents who can't come back home? How long do you expect that to last?
So it's going to depend on how quick our assessment will be, especially our secondary assessment. Again, safety is our number one concern for our community. So once we know that it is safe for them to go back to the residence, we'll definitely let people go back. Right now we have a location for them to go at St. Vincent de Paul. They're helping us with a staging area to be able to have people if they're displaced from their homes, so that we do have a location for them as well.
Chief, any indication of how much power is still out and how long that power will take to be restored?
I cannot answer that. I don't know. I know we have, we're working with KG&E and Evergy. They're out here working. They've been with us through most of this evening trying to help us and find these spots. One of those is, again, some lines down still. So when we can help them by identifying locations, that's our goal, to help them so they'll be able to work those as quick as possible.
You mentioned 966 structures. If you could give us an idea in Andover where you would say the hardest hit area was.
So I live just east of town. I made it into town on Harry Street, and the neighborhood at the northeast corner of Harry and Andover Road had significant damage. The southwest corner had significant damage as well. And then the neighborhood right behind me, the Reflection Lake neighborhood, we learned that through the damage assessment, they received very bad damage there as well. We also took damage at City Hall, which really hampered some of our efforts. We're very thankful Wichita Fire was willing to bring their command van over and help us keep going. So Central Park, east of Crescent Lakes, and the tornado continued all the way up to either 60th or 70th past the KTA.
Now, everyone has seen the videos and pictures of the damage to the YMCA and the aftermath of that. Talk about what that initial response was like, and just kind of getting to those people, making sure everyone is okay.
Interestingly, I'm not going to have a lot of information because we haven't had an opportunity to see the pictures and the videos, but we did assign crews over there, and there were no victims found. We had no patients from the Y, and that's all I would be able to offer for that.
Talk about how, like, the warning people had laid apart and just kind of make sure that there are people who are injuries or serious.
Right. So the one thing I can tell you about the warning is, like I said, I live just east of town, and the sirens were sounding when the funnel cloud was still just dipping out of the cloud. I could hear them at my house. So I don't have the data, but I have the story standing in my backyard. I ended up with debris in my backyard. So it was sounding, the sirens were sounding immediately, and my phone went off 45 seconds before that. So it spun up really quickly. I was watching the weather very closely, and as soon as the warning could be sent, it was out there. We got it very quickly. Any other questions?
Is there any concern, if there's anyone that we haven't been able to find yet?
Very much. That's why all these trucks sitting here are not just parked. We're having a planning meeting right now, and we're getting assignments out so we can immediately get into those secondary assessments. We want to get those done before morning because in these incidents, we typically find folks that we did not find in those primary assessments.
You kind of mentioned like the next steps here. Just kind of reiterate what people who are watching these briefings and hearing from you all, what can they do to kind of help you guys out make this process a little easier?
Well, I think I would echo Chief Buchanan. The first thing you can do is stay away right now. We have power lines down. If for no other reason for your safety, please stay away. Other than that, I think that I think that would be the primary thing for tonight. I will probably have a better idea of what folks can do to help in the morning, but for now, I think we just need folks to stay out of the area.
Now, any
We don't know. We still have those power lines down, so we're just going to have to keep it. It's not in for tonight.
Okay, it looks like we're having some connection issues right there. That's Andover Fire Chief Chad Russell there confirming that in the path of that destruction you had 966 buildings, but right now they don't have a damage assessment. We had already heard that there were 50 to 100 buildings that were damaged, but as you just heard the fire chief, 966 buildings in that path, no damage assessment, so we'll be able to get a better understanding in the daylight. So, all right, let's go back to
The Public Works Director and I were talking very briefly. Unfortunately, we've been through this before, and it'll be years that we'll be recovering from this. But we're focused on tonight. So we'll focus on tonight, plan for tomorrow, and we'll get through this. Yeah, we'd like to meet here again at 8:15 in the morning. And so we'll hopefully be moved over to the next management team from then, and we'll have some better information, I hope. Okay, thank you very much.
Real quick, what's the proximity kind of area that you have for the, like, that's closed off? Do you have about a proximity of like what sections? Does that make sense?
The perimeter of the roadblocks, would you happen to know?
Okay, so the question is what's the perimeter of the road blockage, and it came in diagonally from Sedgwick County. And it angled into town, and then unfortunately took a little bit of a left turn. It went north, so the path kind of cuts across our long, narrow town. So it's everywhere from 120th and Harry to 60th and Meadowlark, and a path right through. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Andover Fire Chief